Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the A Scott Talk, Afuishua, MediaNet TV. In a slight change to the normal programming schedule, we're going to be doing a coronavirus emergency live broadcast. The purpose of tonight's show is really to just put the public's mind at ease. There's a lot of hysteria amongst the British public at the moment. People are, panic buying toilet roll, rushing Iceland and cleaning the shelves of all their frozen pizzas. And it seems like the world's gone mad. So A Scott Talk, what we want to do tonight is just alleviate your fears, just look at the numbers and see how bad is this pandemic. This morning, before I left the house, I checked with the World Health Organization, and although any death, is tragic, to date, there's only been 233 deaths in the UK, and that's a population of 7 million. So, in relative terms, it's a very low number of people that have died to coronavirus. Joining me in the studio, I have the Unk Doctor and Kels. Do you want to just say hello to the listeners at home?
Yeah, let me go first. Just to correct you, the numbers is actually now 336 from the last time we actually spoke. So time is obviously not allowing, but these deaths are actually occurring. So, but my name is Kel, by the way, and obviously we got Dr. Anksy who's going to say what he has to say.
Master, we bow to the divine or the divinity within you. Dua Mutef and Unk. Here with you, also known as the Unk Doctor and the Vibe Master. They say that we are London's most informative presenter, social commentator. And yeah, we're here on Afawi Show. A Scott Talk invited us. Pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you very much, my brother. And that's right, A Scott Talk. I'm an urban motivational legend. I won the World Motivational Speaker Competition last year, and alongside me, I have got voted the most informative radio presenter for the last 20 years in the studio with me, the Unk Doctor. So between myself, himself, and my guest Kels, we are more than qualified to answer any questions you guys might have and alleviate your fears. So, Unk Doctor, let's start with the numbers. Let's just get straight down to the maths. Give us some numbers. How does the figures look?
Well, when we're talking about the numbers and the figures, I hear my brother here, Kel, said it was up to what, 13,000?
In terms of deaths in the UK, it's 336.
336 people have died in the UK over a period of?
Well, from yesterday and today, we're talking...
No, I mean the 336 over a period of, we're talking a period of what, a week, 2 weeks?
About 2 or 3 weeks.
About 2 or 3 weeks, yeah. That would be about the same as the amount of people who die from cancer. Yeah, because the cancer death rates are pretty high. There's all different forms of cancer. There's not just one form of cancer that unfortunately people suffer from. But when, as you said, looking at the facts and the figures, not looking at any conjuncture in relation to viruses, and I'm talking on a global scale. Last time I looked at the chart, it was 10,000. That was at the weekend.
That's 10,000 deaths worldwide to corona.
To corona, 10,000 deaths worldwide, yeah? Like I said, there's 66 million people in the UK. There are 7.8 or 8 billion people approximately worldwide. All right, so now we're talking 10 to 15,000 now. That's what we're saying. Yeah, that's the bracket. Because when you're dealing with those figures, most round it up. The wise would, as I say, round it up to the nearest number. All right. So as I said, it was just over 10,000 the weekend. It's now what, 13, 14,000?
It's actually now over 15,000.
It's now over 15,000. So since the weekend to Monday, they're saying now that there's 15,000 new cases. Yeah. And the first problem that we have with those 15,000 new cases, who done the tests? How were the tests done? Because the original statements we were getting from the government was explaining that it was very difficult to get tests done. People were literally self-diagnosing or being diagnosed over the phone, and that the NHS couldn't handle the volume of calls or tests needed to be taken. You had to be really, really bad to get those tests. So I'm a bit skeptical, just as people may be skeptical with the figures that we come with, I'm a bit skeptical with figures that government come with, because if I look at something like Grenfell, yeah, where the numbers didn't add up, yeah, and there have been other situations where we have found that government numbers haven't stacked up as they have said originally. And as I've explained to people, you cannot go anywhere and say you've got the common cold. You cannot go anywhere you say you've got influenza. You will come job lot under coronavirus because the symptoms are the same, yeah, at this present time. So that's got to be taken on board, yeah? That's a fair point that we think that should be taken on board.
And it's also fair to say, I mean, I resent the fact that the first thing the brother done when he introduced himself was correct me, because my figures came from the World Health Organization, and according to the World Health Organization, we have 233 deaths in the UK, but without splitting hairs whether it's 233 or 300, either figure is minuscule.
No,
in fact, it's so insignificant.
Here we go, Ace.
It's not even
here we go,
worth
Ace.
discussing.
Yeah.
When we look at the numbers,
we'll be generous, and like I said, everyone's dealing with approximations. Let's get this straight.
That's right.
This is why I said round it up to the nearest figure. Yeah. So I've got no problem. You said so it's 15,000.
Globally, they say 15,000.
Even if it's 15,000, I've got no problem with that. That figure.
Yeah. I mean, and
if somebody wants to come to me and say 20,000, I've got no problem with that figure.
Because when we do the maths, and this is what I want to get straight down into. The maths tell a different story.
Yes.
So let's look at the numbers.
Yeah,
so we'll be generous. We'll say 15,000 worldwide.
Right, yeah.
And we'll be generous, and we'll go with the brother's figure of how many did you say?
It's 336.
So 336. So we'll say 350.
No,
we'll give them 350. Yeah, because tomorrow they'll tell us it'll be more than 350.
So we've got 350 deaths in the UK.
Out of 67 million people.
Right.
Yeah.
I rounded it off to 70 million, the nearest number. But yeah, 70 million people.
No, we'll be generous to them. We'll give them the figures, whatever they want.
We've got 70 million people, and we've got 300 deaths in the UK, according to Corona. And that's without going into the fact that we know that those people that have died so far, they had other underlying health issues. It wasn't a case of they just got coronavirus and that was the thing that caused them to die.
That's correct. We're going to go there when we touch on the immune system. That's a great point that you've made, my brother.
Being generous with the numbers,
in the favour of those who say, "Oh, this is real pandemic."
Real pandemic.
So we're gracious enough. We're comfortable saying, "Here you go, you can have that."
Right. So 350 deaths in the UK, 15,000 deaths worldwide. Now let's look at the global population.
The global population at this present time, we're going to round up to 8 million. They say 7.8 million. I did it at 7.8 million. Yeah.
Billion.
So I'll leave it. Sorry. Start again. The global figures is 8 billion. Yeah. Sorry. And they round it up to 7.8 million. Yeah. This is why I was thinking. Sorry, 7.8 billion. This is why I was thinking millions, because 1% of 8 billion or 7.8 million,
it's going to be
78 million or 80 million. Yeah. So 8 billion. 1% of that, 8 million. 7.8, 78. Yeah. If we was to look at those percentages, 15,000, yeah, we're still talking less than 0.000012, less than 0.1%.
Do the maths.
Yeah. So when you actually look at the mathematical statistics, okay, let's talk about the World Health Organization, United Nations, Lancelot, in terms of viruses and deadly viruses, all right? And we'll just deal with the ones that people know, like SARS flu, yeah, 861 cases, 455 deaths, 52%, 0.8% or 53% fatality rate. Yeah, Ebola, yeah, has got a 40.4% fatality rate. All right, SARS flu has got a 39.3%. Do you know the percentage fatality rate of the coronavirus at this here present time? And that's why I said we can be generous with them. The fatality rate is like 3-4%, bro.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah?
That's right.
That is the lowest pandemic figure there has ever been since there've been SARS, Ebola. SARS took out more. Ebola, chicken gonorrhea flu, yeah? Because this is not the first time we've been through this. So it's very important that people look at the statistics, because as they say, we're going through unprecedented times, which means they're doing something to us which has never been done before. Sorry, can I just finish this?
Yeah.
The problem that I have with them doing what they're doing is we're told that majority rules. They're doing what they're doing off of a minority of people, because most of the people are healthy. The statistics are saying most of the people in the UK right now are healthy. I get why you say you want us to lock down, because you say we need to protect those healthy from the X amount that is
But my thing is, you've made the point very clear. This is the lowest pandemic we have ever witnessed
in human history.
In human history, when we do the maths.
Out of all the pandemics there've ever been.
Why is the mainstream media and all the national newspapers telling me that I can't sit in a room with you unless we're 1 meter apart, and I got to protect my face because I might breathe in your germs?
Because right about now, this virus is also being used to create and deal with social engineering. A long time ago, because we were in a few business groups, and I was trying to show people when the virus started breaking, because I went, like, I did about 3 days intense research, literally, where I just had books, computer around me, medical books, yeah, and just looking at things, because I know when you do research and you join dots, a pattern emerges, or patterns start to emerge, bruv. You hear what I'm saying to you? And you can't help, sometimes you're not looking for the patterns, but the patterns just, oh, hello, hi, I'm here to show you the bigger picture. Okay, and what I saw was that this was going to have a massive impact if it was continuing as it was, like it had in China, because of I saw the impact that it had on the Chinese community, being that at this present time China was seen as a superpower. The Chinese are walking around with swagger. They look, what happened with the coronavirus in Wuhan totally took away that swagger. Have you been down to Chinatown lately and seen the trade? That's not happening down there, where nobody don't want to eat food from them, where nobody don't want to purchase goods from them. So what we have to remember is, at this present time, the way the world is moving with globalization, yeah, China is the designated manufacturing hub. So if the manufacturers, it can't mind us down. There you go. You don't know, and what did they say? We're having a war on Corona. I don't think we're not in a war. They did say that, right? In the media, a war on Corona. What did you just say? War's about what?
Economics.
Economics.
You know, and
let's join those dots.
Right, and if